Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Football Manager 2017. This is the final game of our regular season over here. We're going to be playing against Wraith. It's going to be an away game for us. And for us, it makes no difference whatsoever what the outcome of this game is. We are indeed locked into third position, as we have been for quite some time. But it actually is quite important for Wraith, because if Dundee wins today and Wraith loses, then Dundee will take the fourth place in the league and therefore get brought into the playoffs. So for Wraith, it is very, 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 very important for them to make at least 1 point. Or, I mean, as long as Dundee doesn't win. Even if Dundee just draws, then that's going to be that. I guess I could take a look at Dundee's schedule and see who they're playing. Is it from here? How do I find their schedule? Oh, right over here. There we go. It's in a different position from them. So Dundee is going to be playing against Morton, who actually is a relatively decent team. He has 7th overall, but they actually haven't been doing too bad. It's quite close in points over here. And in fact, for Morton, it'll probably no, they can't. They can advance above Dunfermline in the league tables, but that's not particularly relevant one way or another. So there is something to be played for on the line today, just to give it a little bit of extra drama. Mostly, we are playing our star players in the formation that I think might be most effective for us to generate scoring opportunities. We are going to try to make sure that our sharpness gets a little bit of boost on all of our star players before we go into the playoffs over here, if we can. Now, one thing I've got to say is, of course, I love my Craig McGuffey over here, and the media is agreeing as McGuffey scores both the Player of the Month award and the Young Player of the Month award here. Look at him being properly recognized. Does have the average game rating of 7.82, 5 goals in 5 appearances. Very, 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 very good. Of course, we're going to be playing him on the left wing over here, although we can also play him as a striker, which is great to see. So I think we're going to go ahead into the match over here. We didn't get the award for the top manager, which is a little frustrating, but you know, that's the way it is. So, nicely evenly divided with Wraith here. 1 win each and 1 draw. So far very balanced. No wind, or no rain, a little bit windy. The referee, a little bit aggro on the yellow cards, not crazy. So looks like they have a couple of players out. And they will likely be playing in the standard 4-4-2 position. We're going to be playing standard mentality, structured over here. I mean, we could go and play a little bit more counter-based since we are playing away, but I think standard is going to be okay. We'll go ahead and submit these teams and see what we can do. So again, not all of our players have the maxed out match sharpness, but we're pretty high up there. And for us, there's no pressure in a sense, but we're looking to play injury-free. We're looking to play without any real red cards or anything like that going on. Mathematically qualified for a playoff position. Wraith will secure a playoff berth if they win against Air. Actually, if it's a draw, Wraith will have secured their position as well. So we've got this going on. We're going to go with the standard, hey, let's go ahead and mark these strikers, and we'll close down on the wingers if they do have the ball. Continue to team talk. Encourage the players, give them a bit of morale boost. Absolutely. I'm going to be, I don't know, a little bit of pat. You know, just go out there and impress me. Go out there and enjoy yourselves today. I know that's not going to mean much, but that's really the goal. Ooh, look at how they've cut their grass here on the pitch. Big bullseye in the middle. Not used to seeing that. You're used to seeing like the sort of crosses or diagonals. Pass up to McGuffey. Nice little run there. Oh, no. Does get the ball taken away from him. Did not quite get the pass off on time. Apparently something along the way led to us getting a corner. We don't just get a goal off the corner, but Thomas has got it. Gets it over to Harkins, who's going to take a long shot. Does go over. That's unfortunate. Not a lot of people over in the stands here. A few more over here. It's not a huge attendance, but of course, not a home game for us either. So it's not like we're getting the majority of the ticket sales. I think you get a share of the ticket sales in an away game, but I'm not sure. Forced. Oh, gets tripped up hard by McCaddy here. No referee call at all for that, which is a little bit suspect. Vaughn with some nice dribbling, beating the defenders. Passes it over to McManus, who has a really lame shot, but still gets deflected by defense, which means they are going to get a corner out of this, which always scares me a little bit. Again, we're not super invested by the outcome of the game here, other than if we come out with a win, it should be really good for our team's morale. But even a draw, I think drawn on an away game won't ruin our morale too much. I actually didn't check to see who's the favorite. Probably we are a slight favorite to win here, which means there's a little bit more pressure to get the win, and our team might be disappointed with a draw, depending on how it goes. We'll see. Boyle clears it out for a throw-in. At least it's not another corner. But we do have to get the ball out of our end here. I mean, I know we're only 4 minutes in, but still. Hasn't been fantastic. All right, pass it up to Harkins. Harkins gets it over to Kearney, who can probably send it wide. Nope, back to Harkins, who sends it up to Thomas, over to Kearney. But he's... Oh, nice! Nice pass through the window there. Craig McGuffey, who seems to love just making my heart pressure go through the roof with his shots that are just slightly off. So another hit with the goal post there. Doesn't quite go in, but still a good opportunity and good placement. Still like myself my Craig McGuffey here, but I would have liked it a little bit more had that gone in. There on the offense, but big wall of red here. We maybe it's like 4 people on one attacking player here. Seems a little bit sketchy. We are not going to win that. That's too bad. If we'd seen that coming a little bit more, we might have been able to win that. This is very scary. Oh my God! I gotta say, kudos to Duhin. Don't hold your head in shame there, buddy. That was a save. The first save I did not expect you to make, and there was no way for you to defend from that replay. Mostly came down to, could the defenders have done something about it? And it seems to be the answer was no, because here I expected that to go in. Or did that go off the top bar? Maybe that hit the crossbar and I didn't notice. It looked like that was a save, but you know what? With the speed that the ball came away from the net, I'm actually thinking that hit the crossbar. Still, all right, Kearney fails to clear it, actually. We are being dominated a wee bit. The possession doesn't feel very good. And 16 minutes in, that's not really like a math error. Oh, my God. Okay, well, first of all, we are going to definitely move back to more of a counter mentality here. So we have to be a little bit more careful. This is not going to feel good. I'm really concerned about our morale. Especially falling behind so early is really going to demoralize our team, which makes it more likely that we're just going to continue to fall further and further and further behind. Damn. Was not expecting that with us getting our A team back in here. And there's a lot of pressure from for Wraith to perform very well here. So they might be incredibly fired up. Whereas our own people, I mean, there was a little bit of hubris here. I went, with the calm speech. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should have encouraged them a little bit more. Let's go ahead and give them a team talk from the sidelines. I'm going to passionately try to encourage them here. Especially morale has dipped. It's still fairly good, but that's not the same as, some of these people I think came in here extremely good morale. We got ourselves a corner. We still are leading the league in goals from corners, but that's going to get safely deflected away. But Harkins is able to keep it in. Not even a throw-in or anything. Magat sends it way forward, but unfortunately, Thomas was not able to go and pierce through the lines to get anything going on here. Try to put in more crosses. Well, maybe. Maybe indeed, huh? I don't know. Nah. I'm not going to mess too much. Shots on goal are pretty much even. But 2 theirs have gone in. And I think that's just sort of defensive failures. Oh my God, a third one going in there. What's the deal? Yeah, you got that. I mean, I can try to encourage you to close this guy down a little bit more, but 3-0 before the half. This is horrible. I don't know how we're going to walk away with this with a shred of morale left over in the end, which is exactly the opposite of what I was hoping to get here. There's a part of me that's wondering if I shouldn't have gone with a more defensive mentality right from the start. Perhaps even staying with the 4-4-2, despite the fact that the midfielder sort of wings, I don't have anyone who's really strong in those positions. It might have been good just to try to lock things down and go for a draw, just to not shatter my morale like this is probably doing. That pass is going to connect, and a very dangerous crossing opportunity here does get defended by Lammy, but only so much. Duin blocks the shot there. It is going to lead to a corner there. The threat has not ended in any way whatsoever. Holy crap. For the final game of our season, this is not feeling very good at all. Kustrin's, like, the first time he's actually failed to, hold on to the ball. That's going to be a goal kick for us. Thank goodness there. If we can get 1 goal, it might help to reset our morale a bit. I mean, we're still going to be a million miles away from equalizing the game, but it should help us feel a little bit better about things. Thomas beautifully beats the defender there. Does get actually a very nice shot off, it felt like, but Lennox is able to defend. We do have our goal kick going on here. Now, I am correct. There we go. I was going to say, Lammy is up here correctly for these moves, right? And he is. He's got the big head. Forrest looks like he went for one of the headers there, and that's never going to work out because he's about 3 inches tall. And just like that, they are on the offense, and Vaughn is beating our defense, and another one there. I'm not going to tell people to tackle harder, which might be the solution to this, but I'm not going to do it because it's very important that I don't walk away from this with a bunch of cards on our books, which might make the playoffs that much harder here. We are going to be facing Wraith again in the playoffs. In fact, almost certainly we're going to be playing them immediately again. Now, one of the things that I don't know, but I'm hoping, because we ended up third, I'm hoping that means we will be playing at home for the first game here. 45 minutes in. We're definitely not good enough. I mean, expect much better than this. Come on, let's go ahead and do the full, you can improve. Come on, give it your all here. Although, yeah, get us one goal just so that we can get a little bit of our morale back, because if we have to go and face Wraith instantly in the playoffs after losing against them 3-0, I don't know, we might be fired up for some vengeance. We'll see how that goes. They're running at a 7.2 rating overall. Just like their entire team is doing extraordinarily well. They're fired up because of the importance of the game, and we just came into this and thinking, well, it doesn't really matter what happens, so who cares? And that is true. I mean, that's how I came into this game, so I can't blame the players if they came in with that kind of attitude, but I'm worried that this is going to taint the follow-up game, which is devastatingly important. Oh, come on. Okay, Magat does steal it away there. Thank you very much. I was worried that it was going to get beaten again. But we are able to take the ball. Yeah, possession is not great so far. I mean, we could, put in some more instructions, but I don't want to overcomplicate life. You've got to remember, some of these A-teamers were only sitting at about 90% sharpness as well, too, because we haven't been playing them as much. And, maybe that was a mistake. Oh, this has got some potential. Yes! Paul Kearney getting it in there. Really wonderful. Oh, that all got started by an excellent shot by Forrest, actually, and the fact that they did not contain that. So Forrest takes a shot on goal, which luckily, the fact that it hit the post rather than goalkeeper was really good, because that angle was basically always going to be impossible. But Thomas is able to pick it up, gets it back to Kearney, who's wide open. Boom! He's got the time and a great angle to get it in there, and just like that, we are on the board, which is going to make, I think, a very, very big difference here. An offside leads to us starting another offensive play, getting it over to Harkins. Harkins gets it back to Kearney, who is going to try to dribble past. Interesting. To McGuffey, who actually... Oh, that was a beautiful touch on the ball to just sort of knock it past the defender so that you can rush past them. It's too bad the follow-up kick was so off target, because that was really a nice attempt, though. Over... Ooh! That... Boyle's going to keep it in. It would have been a throw-in for us regardless. Kearney beats the defender there. I think people have found their game. That, unfortunately, is going to lead to a goal kick, I think. A substitution by the opposition here. Bringing in a middle defender who we're not going to explicitly cover. That's going to be fine. How is our team going? We're 62 minutes in. Time for a substitution may, in fact, be called for. I mean, no one's exhausted yet. I guess, can we bring someone in with just okay morale? Like, replace someone with okay morale with someone who's higher up, like Patty Boyle here. We're going to sub you in for Crane, who's got much, much better morale, and the sharpness and everything like that. We're going to do this to start off with. That's going to be the first sub, and that's going to be okay. Nikki, I think I'm going to encourage you to play just a defensive fullback over here. Last thing we want to do is leak another goal here. I'm not going to say that we really have momentum, although, I don't know. If this goes in, right, we got a corner here, always an opportunity, and then it becomes a one-goal game, all of a sudden I'm feeling very good about things. Oh, a foul called against Geoghegan. Okay, it is just a foul, not a card. That's good. And it looks like we managed to keep the offense going, well, vaguely. Thomas got the ball forward, but that was about it. There wasn't a whole lot of cover for him. He maybe could have pulled back and waited for some more assistance, we'll see. McManus, we're going to have 14 people on him, leaving everyone else open. Johnson back up to McManus, who gets it over to Vaughn wide. I don't know if telling people to sit deeper would be better. I mean, we do have a presence here, right? Nicky Devlin fails to intercept the ball is really what it is. And I mean, if I just sat deeper, then they would just move deeper as well. So it's not like that's the solution. They're doing a double substitute. So first of all, let's make sure these are the guys that we do want to close down a little bit more aggressively. And it seems a little early for a second sub. You know what? I am going to sub Nikki, though, who is apparently playing very badly today. And his morale's been shot, so we're going to bring in Tony instead. And hopefully that'll work out a little bit better. We're definitely going to wait for the final sub, though. I mean, well, no, I was going to say we're almost at the 70-minute mark. Well, barely. And yeah, that was 2 subs quite quickly back-to-back for us. But on the other hand, they're doing the subs too, and we need to bring in someone who's not broken, basically. Oh, Ralston with a nice header there over to Forrest, who's going to be able to move the ball forward. He's going wide and hopefully waiting for someone to be in front of... Oh, my God. Dear Nuffle, thank you very much for granting upon us an own goal. Wow. Because this cross from Forrest really wasn't going to go to any... Well, no, it really wasn't. But this... Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry. That was a huge mistake by you, buddy. So that's going to break the morale a bit. I mean, at this point, we're not playing for the win. We're just hoping that we can walk away here not feeling utterly miserable. I'm going to go ahead and make a passionate encourage, trying to boost their morale a little bit. Shots on haven't been terrible. Just theirs keeps going in. And, I mean, pretty legit. They've had some really good moves. We got really lucky with that goal. And actually, the first one, no, the first one I don't think was real luck. It was a good setup. Sort of thing that, you know, was going to lead to goals a lot of the time. So he fumbles the ball a bit, which prevents them from keeping up with the aggressive forward moves. We're just about ready for another sub. We're waiting actually for a whistle for the for what to come in here. What did I do? Oh, that's my talk. Nice defending there. They do still have the ball. No, Lamy takes the ball away, clears it. They're still in the offense. There we go. So now my team talk has finally gone through. And now we're going to look for one more substitution here. Ross Doherty, I'm going to go in and sub you for Andy Gigan, who's not feeling fantastic. Do I actually want to pull you back a little further? Maybe we'll do that, because you actually are fine playing further back as the ball-winning midfielder. And I think we're going to do that, actually. Maybe we should have done that sooner. Because a lot of their scoring does seem to be, like, sort of kind of getting beat in the middle. Not exactly. That's okay. Harkins, are you going to send it wide over here? I was going to say, Forrest is going to be forced to pass it back, but in the meantime, we've continually shuffled. Harkins maybe up into the middle here. Yes, to Kearney. Excellent. McGuffey to Thomas. He's a little bit... Oh, that's not even... That's going to be a goal kick. That's not even a corner. Still. I mean, we've made this slightly less embarrassing by getting on the second goal, even though it wasn't on goal. But, I mean, it was us giving ourselves an opportunity to score with a cross in front of the net. Could have gone a few different ways. Doherty bounces it forward. McGuffey, no, does not win that. So they've got the possession. They've got a minute and a half to try to score. Harkins getting in there with the interception. Very nice. Is going to find someone to pass to. You could pass it backwards over to Kearney, I suppose. He goes wide to Ralston, which is totally okay. And actually, Forrest seems to be in a relatively good position. Now he's kind of being covered. Back to Harkins, who holds the ball up for a second. Gets it to Thomas. Thomas to Kearney. I was going to say looks good. He does get the ball tackled away. Oh, and a nice attempt there at Magat to keep it in, but he's not quite as tall as Lamy. We still have possession. Maybe. Nope. Scassel does intercept, but Ralston gets control again. Sends it deep, 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 deep over here. I think... Oh, no. They're going to stop it rather than go for a goal kick, which is interesting. Well, effectively, they're generating a goal kick here, which I guess is okay. They've got about 40 seconds to try to score again. Again, the outcome of the game is fixed at this point. We are losing this game. But maybe we can walk away with a shred of morale left. Most likely we'll have a lot of okays here. Maybe I can give a good speech, firing people up. I got to give them a little bit of slack, but, I mean, really they did play pretty miserably. Legitimately miserably. So I think if I yell at them a little bit, it's, you know, maybe an assertive yell at, I think will be called for. Harkins with actually holding onto the ball for a very long time, despite numerous tackles. Gets it over to Thomas. Full time before he's going to be able to get a shot there. It would have been nice if we could have gotten onto the board with a nice clean goal there. A lot of the morale did bounce back. But yeah, I am I am far from pleased. We got lucky. We didn't get unlucky. We got lucky that it wasn't a 4-1, to be honest. Yeah, get fired up. Okay, I think we're going to walk away with this okay. And the very important and interesting question here is going to be, what do the playoffs look like? They eased to victory. Falkirk win the Ladsbrook Championship. Look at that. And how far away was it? Did it really come down to... Oh, can we not find the... There we go. I'm going to say the league table. Wow. Wow. I mean, Falkirk did continue to play well because they didn't have the goal diff, right? But if the Hibs had beaten us, a draw would not have been good enough. The draw, if the Hibs and we had drawn, they would still have come in second because Falkirk, holy crap, they have done so well. They've literally won their last 5. Stupendous. But if the Hibs had beaten us, then they would have been drawn in points, which means the goal diff, which actually would have been slightly higher for the Hibs had they scored on us, would have carried into victory. So we kind of played spoiler there, although Falkirk winning 5 in a row is incredible. So we're going to secure... so Wraith secures their playoff spot. We're going to be playing against them almost certainly right away. And we have received 320K for achieving 3rd place in the championship. Okay, so I didn't realize there was a cash prize based on your final position. So even the mid-table position seems to be quite important. What does that do for our finances here? Okay, it hasn't registered that. Prize money over here. Maybe if we advance, it'll give us an update about things, because that's actually going to send us positive, isn't it? Unless this is already updated, because I think we were $500,000 in debt for a while. I'm not sure. We're going to see what happens here. Ladsbrook Championship hits air against Wraith. And it's going to be played at Starks Park. Which... How come we're playing away? And it's in 3 days? I'm worried about people being exhausted. I'm wondering if I should have played my second team one more time here. Sean McKenzie. Okay, so no one is truly, truly tired here. I'm confused by what we're seeing here. What day are we today? The 6th, which is here. Wait, is it like a best 2 out of 3? So we got away and then home. And then if we're tied at that point, is it going to go to goal diff? Or is there going to be a 3rd game scheduled for a tiebreaker? And what if we're tied on goals? Then there's just going to be like, what, a random... Like, if, let's say, they beat us 1-0 here, and we beat them 1-0 here. The goal diff is going to be equal. What I don't know the structure. I don't know the playoff structure. I mean, ultimately, my goal will be play as good as possible, but highest average rating for errors. In fact, Craig McGuffey. Look at that. Sick. Top goal scorer is Jamie Thomas, but Craig didn't play as many games. So what I think I'm going to do here is, rather than give anyone any time off, next week we're just going to go to low training intensity. Maybe even very low. Now, they just beat us while we were playing this tactic. Do we feel like there's something we could have done to improve it? Like, was I wrong to play this? How were we beaten? I think I'm going to spend a bunch of time analyzing the last game here, because clearly, especially if we have to play these guys twice, structure, stages, first round. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just like you play a pair of games so that you each have a home game. I don't like the order, though, because I'm still worried that we're going to play the away game, which is going to be harder, and if we don't win there, it'll tank our morale. If we did home first, we might have a better chance of winning than coming away with really good morale for the next game. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start Jordan Hart. I don't know if that's wise or not. He's got higher morale, and Ross did not do that well, and actually hasn't been performing that well overall, right, compared to Jordan Hart, who's had a much better record. So I think we're going to do that. Of our starters, Nicky Devlin has the lowest overall rating. He is our captain, though. And actually, Tony Ralston has exactly the same rating over the last 5 games. I think what we'll do is on game day, we'll take a look at tiredness levels that everyone has and consider doing a few substitutes in response to that. Of our substitutes, Tony's got one of the lowest ratings. So we know that. It's the right flank, maybe just not getting a lot of opportunities or something. We might have to play a little bit more defensively on the flanks. Right? Rather than set them to sport, what if we set them to defense or something of that nature? Just have a bit more of a presence back here. I think Kearney, he still sets up a lot of opportunities. I think having him on support is very correct. I don't know about playing a halfback. I mean, we could pull Harkins back to the center, but I think that's a mistake, right? And Harkins has been playing very well, so I'm happy to not make any changes over here. This structure is clearly enabling him to really do a good job. He hasn't scored that many goals in the last few games, but with his rating this much, he must be creating a lot of opportunities for us, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. We'll start Craig Moore, who's got a better morale right now, as our striker. Although he hasn't delivered that many goals, partially I think because of the role that he has been playing when we were doing the double striker comp. He wasn't in the position to score as often as Jamie Thomas was. We can see there, it's 36 appearances, although 6 of those were subs, so it's kind of moot. Let's say 30 starts to 41 starts, and 20 goals for Thomas as opposed to only 10 for Craig Moore. But I think it still might be okay. And of course, Craig McGuffey has been scoring a lot for us as well, so that's okay, I think, overall. Craig, do you do better as a slightly different role? I mean, does a false 9 make sense when you're not the only when you're the only striker? Well, yeah, dribble more risky passes, move into channels. I think that actually does make a lot of sense. Yeah, I think that's okay. And yeah, maybe Nicky, we will just start you as a just defensive fullback overall. So you're really not going to be very aggressive. But that's okay, because Alan Force is going to be up there. So that's going to be fine. And I'm actually wondering on the other flank if, well, so maybe rather than a wingback, we'll go fullback, which is a little further. Yeah, wingback gets further forward. So let's pull Boyle back a little bit over here, especially for our away game. So we're going to be a little bit more defensive on our defense. All right, I like that. So 3 days. Hopefully, we will get our energy back. I'm really worried. But of course, they've also just played. So Wraith may not have all their energy back either. Cross our fingers. The playoffs start. It will be incredibly difficult for us to earn promotion. And that was never the goal. Just getting to this point was miraculous. At first, remember, let's think back about how our season started. We were afraid of automatic relegation at first. Then our goal was to avoid the relegation battle altogether and just end up mid-table. And somewhere along the way, we started this miraculous run that has put us in the playoffs. To win the playoffs and get promoted to the Premiership would be the ultimate miracle, because last season we were League One. It's almost certainly not going to happen. So we have to be ready to accept that. But we are going to work our ass off to try to make it happen, because how insanely incredible would that be? Thanks for watching. See you next time.